Welcome back to All Sorts of Sports.
Like what go? My wonderful dancing just now after
Yeah,
the 3, 2,
yeah.
1.
Your little ditty bop.
Well, see, I don't know. When you do the 3, 2,
Not a Diddy Bop.
yeah, I did not Diddy Bop. That was not a Diddy Bop.
Diddy Bop.
Yo, calm the fuck down, guys. Don't be so serious. We have
Well, I
serious
mean-
shit to talk about.
It's kind of like when they do these like dancing memes, like the Harlem Shake meme from a few years ago, which was clearly not the Harlem Shake. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
get the dances and the Diddy Bops and stuff right. Otherwise, you sound like a white TikToker. Just help me out, James.
Nah, you're the one doing the shit. Ain't me.
You labeled it.
I'm not on TikTok
You
either.
both-
So I don't give a shit. All right. So
I'm just trying to get my
90
Jackson Mahomes on. Leave me alone.
Cool.
Okay, so real
Hey,
quick,
Pat put that man in timeout.
Oh, that should be a topic. No.
I never I know what he was doing for the longest time. Like I just know people were talking about him. Like I knew about the Sean Taylor shit, obviously, but I didn't know about that. Like some of the dances he was doing on TikTok and shit. I'm not on TikTok. I don't care. But I saw a bunch of them on Twitter in the past week, and I was just like this what we doing?
See, that's the thing.
This our hero? This our Generation Z? This your hero?
Yeah.
He popped up during that Ravens game. That's when he registered on that radar to me when he poured the water on everybody. But I just have to say, when you see the TikToks out there, if there's a part of you that feels like you're just the old guy being like, you fucking kids or your TikToks, until you see the look on Patrick Mahomes' face. Save that, man.
No.
Yeah.
No. Let him stay there until he leaves Kansas City.
I think TikTok is great for a lot of shit, especially the kids and stuff. But some of that shit is whack. I don't give a fuck how old I am. Some shit you do is whack. It doesn't matter. Some people do whack shit, and there's some people who are popular on TikTok, just like there are in life. Any generation doesn't really matter on some shit, and it's whack as fuck. And he
Or they
wanted to
steal.
me.
That's the big thing with the TikTok is the stealing. Because I look at TikTok like any other social media, right? Facebook to me has got the biggest bullshit. Whether it's your aunt sending you some fucking message chain on fucking Messenger, which is nonstop bullshit, or the other crazy aunt that wants to tell you how the anti-vax shit goes. Give me dancing Jackson Mahomes over that shit any day of the fucking week. I'm just saying, all the social media can be bullshit. It's a tool, right? I can give you a hammer. You can bash somebody in the back of the fucking head with it, or you can build a house. Really up to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So, do you guys want to start with picks or news? What you want to go with first?
I think we got to start with Ruggs. We got to start.
Yeah. So this happened 2 days ago now.
2 days.
At
three technically.
Yeah, 3:39 in the morning. Henryruggs, I guess he was coming from Topgolf. He was drunk, driving a Corvette C8, and he crashed into a RAV4 that was in the far right lane on the highway. At an intersection doing 156, and then at moment of impact was at 127. Now, from everything that I've heard, it's damn near impossible to go that fucking fast at that part. So it's what in the fuck were you doing? What were you thinking? And of course, the reports come back today that he was over twice the legal limit at the time of testing, which was 2 hours after the incident. So he was way worse before that too.
He was 161 2 hours after.
Yeah.
161.
And that's twice the limit.
Yeah.
So he's currently in jail. In Nevada, it is mandatory 2 years if you're convicted, between 2 and 20. Now, at first...
just one thing. I'm not sure, just adding to your point, James, I'm not sure if I heard this correctly, but Nevada's a no probation state when it's a DUI.
Yeah, so there's no probation. Now, at first, when this happened, we were like, all right, not we, but whatever. The discussion was he would at least get 2 years, possibly whatever, and come out. Then you find out somebody passed away from the accident. A woman, a 23-year-old woman and her dog was in the accident, burned to death. There's a video of it, of the car just on fucking fire. It's horrible. Then you hear that Ruggs and his girlfriend in the car, and they just had a baby. So that's devastating for their baby girl now. Then you got the fact that he also had a loaded gun in the car, which why the fuck do you have that? So that's not going to be two.
Well, I know why he has that, to be fair.
Yeah, the loaded gun's not the big issue for
I
me.
don't have a problem.
No. I'm just saying all the shit that came to my mind.
Okay.
As I'm reading it. Then you also got the fact that, number one, if you look at his profile, and I've seen this from when we drafted him, the header of his profile is a gravestone of his best friend that passed away in a car accident.
Rod Scott.
Yeah, Rod Scott. That's why he always puts up the 3 every time he scores, comes on the field, everything. Then you also got the fact, even more recent. Did you not learn from Josh Jacobs? He literally just got in an accident. Like this year. So all this shit happens. And I mean, the first part that comes to my mind is the victim and her family, because like 23 is crazy. Ruggs, I think, is 22. His decision fucking ruined the lives of 2 families. So y'all go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, rest in peace, Tina Tintor. I think is the name of the victim there.
I was just looking that up too.
Look, no excuses. Like if we're running back, like what the first thoughts were, I'd be remiss to say that the first thing I thought of immediately was Dante Stallworth. Was the first thing I thought about. But then it was like the Dante Stallworth. So like remembering the Dante Stallworth situation was like how unfortunate an accident was. So I didn't want to rush any judgment off the rip, right? Because with Dante's situation, he had been drinking, he tried to sober up, like spent the night in his car or whatever it was until the following morning. He barely had any booze in him. And then somebody walks across the street in the middle of the day or the middle of the like 4 o'clock in the morning, and he hits him. And
it was at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 7:30.
50 and a 40, which like in comparison to.
It's not right. That's the thing. Is like
fucking 6.
There's the first couple things, and then the more you start hitting, so then the video releases. Then I'm like, TMZ is kind of following up. Then you start seeing, okay, it looks as though he's getting arrested right afterwards. He's getting charged with the DUI. So it's like, all right, what's coming next? And when the bombshell today, as far as the 156 is when there's like everybody's kind of cast him out. Like I'm not gonna throw stones from glass houses. In the sense of shit, I'll 100% admit my early days, I drunk drove a lot, a fuck ton. And in all honesty, I look back on that period of time and think how stupid I was. But back then, when you're around your boys or whatever, this is before Uber was a big thing. There was sort of that mentality that you have that it's just not going to happen to me. You know, same way that like you got people that don't want to get the vaccine. You can't exist in a world in which you think the bad thing is going to happen to you. There's so much ego with that, and it's immaturity and it's stupid. The thing that you would really look at when it comes to him is that unlike and I'm not making excuses for my period of time when I did it because it was inexcusable back then. We should have had a designated driver. But right now, Uber, Lyft, Black Car Services, the National Football League themselves, for every league employee, regardless of where you are in stature within the league, you have free access to reimbursement for any one of those things. Ruggs doesn't need reimbursement to get a fucking Lyft to go home. Like there's no reason that you should ever be in this sort of situation. I don't really feel the only compassion I feel to him is the same way I feel compassion for any human being that makes terrible mistakes. But beyond that, he deserves to be punished for what it is he did. And with that, rehabilitation means a very long time away. Yep. Whatever it needs for him to get out and be better about this and to never, ever make that mistake again. I mean, there's a woman that's dead. And I don't want to make it seem as flippant as a mistake because there's a gradualness of the decisions that you make to lead up to that point. They're all wrong ones. It's extremely deliberate to get you to that point. Prayers to her family, prayers and positive thoughts to her and her family. Ruggs and his family situation, it's just terrible knowing that he's got a new kid. But, I mean, yeah, he's going to go away for a while. I think it's well-deserved, and hopefully he's better when he gets back out.
I mean, when I first heard it, I was just sad. well, I was just trying to figure out what was happening first because it was like, oh, okay, Henryruggs DUI. Okay, cool. At first, it's all right. Henryruggs got DUI. I mean, I don't give a shit. Like they should have picked CeeDee Lamb anyway. It doesn't fucking matter to me. And then it was like, okay, well, Henryruggs killed someone while driving drunk, and then his blood alcohol level came out, and like the fact that he was driving 150 plus in a Corvette, and we're talking about a young lady who was 23 years old. Talking about a lady who's 23 years old, plenty of life left, like bright future ahead of her, I'm sure, in her car with her dog, and that's just sad to me. There's no other feeling. Like people started talking to me about other stuff, like, oh, I got him in so many fantasy leagues. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that. Like that doesn't matter. Somebody lost their life. Like handle your fantasy business or whatever. Do your thing, but somebody lost their life. Like that's just tragic. I don't feel a thing negative necessarily toward Henryruggs. I feel bad for him. I empathize more so with the victim's family, for sure, and the victim, of course. I just feel bad because kind of like what K-Dot was saying, one mistake, 1 second. Like it wasn't 1 second, but one mistake change your whole life. His like he was shaping up to be a good wide receiver in the NFL, all this good stuff, and now his entire life is different now. Like everything that came after this, I know he just wishes he could take that back, and I feel for that man because of that. I feel for him, and same as K-Dot said, I agree. He's going to get what's coming to him, but it's unfortunate that this happened. It's unfortunate that somebody lost their life. It's unfortunate that I don't know if that woman was a sister. She might have been a sister. She's obviously a daughter. She might have been an aunt, a cousin. She could have been a mom for all I know. I don't know, but that's just. I just want to send empathy and positive energy to everybody in her family, everybody that, may have knew her friends. Cause that's just sad. It's sad. And then we're also talking about Ruggs, like James is talking about his daughter. He has a daughter, young daughter. And like, she's now going to have to grow up for a while without her father. And then she's going to have to learn from his mistakes. She's going to have to look at this like differently. And like this is going to be a thing that affects her for the rest of her life. And it's really, that's all I have. It's just sad.
Yeah, it completely changed everything because you're looking at it, her life trajectory was completely different until Ruggs made those series of mistakes. I'm not going to say it's just one because number one, he drove the top golf. Number two, he decided to have a drink. Number three, he kept getting drinks. So each time he got a drink, it was a mistake. Number four, he left with the car. And then he decided to drive the speed he did. So, yeah, this shit is just terrible. It bothered the fuck out of my spirit. Like I was like legit down the whole time, just thinking about all the shit that you guys are discussing now. So, yeah, positive energy and prayers to everybody.
Everybody needs to know nowadays, especially, and if you're a National Football League player, which I'm sure you're probably not watching this, but there is no reason ever to be in that situation. You have to make a lot of really terrible choices to be in that situation itself. I know the league at every meeting, the rookie meetings, everything, make sure that they acknowledge this and they bring it up all the time. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows. You do not have to do this, especially with the means at which you have. Lord knows if I had half the means that you have in those contracts, there's no chance I'm driving anywhere that there's a chance I'm going to have an alcoholic beverage. I'm just saying that it's extremely poor decision-making, and I think people need to understand that you can make bad decisions, but when you run outside the realm and now your decisions are impacting other people is when you really need to get your head out of your ass.
Mm-hmm. And he had an example in the same fucking locker room that he saw every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shit was just heartbreaking. You guys have anything else? let's move on to the second biggest story, in my opinion. Aaron Rodgers came out today. It was today?
Yep.
Today that or Wednesday that he's not playing on Sunday because he tested positive for COVID. Now, when the story first dropped, everybody was like, "Well, wait, why are you ruling him out so early?" And it's like, wait, hold on. If you're unvaccinated, you're out for 10 days. And then if you are vaccinated, you're out for a short amount of time. And then if you test negative twice in a span of 48 hours?
24
hours, then he's good. And they're like, wait, why are they ruling him out so quick? And I was like, wait, is he not vaccinated? And apparently he's not. I forgot what he called it.
No, that's the shit that got me, bro. Because that people gave fucking Lamar a lot of shit for not being vaccinated. And to be honest with you, Aaron gives me hippie vibes. Like Aaron Rodgers gives me hippie vibes. So him not being vaccinated doesn't surprise me as much. However, it's how he like went about saying that he was taken care of. Because what he said was, they asked him, like I saw the clip earlier today. They asked him, are you vaccinated? And he said, I've been immunized. And that immunization coming, you're thinking like, oh, okay, that means he's vaccinated. Fine, cool. And he was like, it's a personal decision. I don't talk about anybody else's, business. It's a personal decision. I completely understand. Right. Wasn't going to throw anybody on the bus because you can't throw your fucking self under the bus. But like, this is so wild to me. Like, bro, like, we just letting Aaron Rodgers he been out here like, I ain't seen him with a mask a lot. Like, Bo Money Jones said this on Twitter, and I agree with him. We've seen Aaron walking around a lot, like in the rooms and shit, and in the photos with no mask at all, nothing at all. Because I mean, hey, if you're going to be unvaccinated, fine, you got to wear a mask more.
Yeah. Okay, that.
Without going too hard in the paint on Aaron, my buddy, my good old friend over there. Look, the worst part about it is kind of what Keem is saying, is that he couldn't handle the criticism. So he hid. Like, he lied. Like, he lawyered himself out of it. And even when you look back and you see all the interviews, like Pat McAfee, seeing him talk about it today, because Aaron's been doing a weekly segment on his show, he's talked about how being vaccinated is a competitive advantage and how it makes sense and this, that, and the other. It's like, you did everything but say you yourself were vaccinated. Okay, motherfucker. Like, you just, but it kind of goes back to stuff that, once again, I don't know Aaron, so I don't want to go that hard as far as telling him what it is that he is or isn't or whatever. I get in trouble for that. But it's selfish. And outside of being selfish, it's also kind of speaks to a narrative of which I've talked about at length previously, which is that he's a dude that really doesn't like criticism. He runs from it. And he's also a dude that blames everybody else and tries to shirk responsibility. It's kind of what it follows the MO. Then if you look at the friends that he carries around him, I mean, one actor who I kind of respect as far as his acting ability, but he's kind of a dick from everything that I've heard, is Miles Teller, who they were doing a show on Paramount Plus so they were on Paramount Plus. There's supposed to be a show that's coming out about the making of The Godfather. And word hit from that set that he was so anti-vax, he's cost the entire studio millions of dollars. This is his friend. So I'm just saying, once you start realizing the people that kind of Aaron surrounds himself with and how he's talked about that whole, it's like, how you going to have the same principles basically as like, is Kyrie or some of the other dudes. And then while they sit there and take it, I give him credit for sitting there and take it. Cole Beasley, fucking moron, right? But he sits there and he takes it. If you want to criticize me, this is where the fuck I stand. Aaron, well, I think it's just a good idea for everybody to get vaccinated. I got immunized, Then he's saying, like, under his breath, I got immunized from malaria years ago. Okay, measles.
Did it come out what he said, like what he did? Because he said, I know he petitioned to the NFL for the alternative form of treatment. Like, what was it?
So the homeopathic treatment is supposed to be some sort of homeopathic way in which they give you antibodies. or the worst. So like that's the other thing is there's so much noise happening right now with it that I'm waiting for a thorough line. I think Ian Rappaport is probably the one that's the most on top because he's staying to what's happening with the organization and with Aaron. But we're not sure. There's some people that say Aaron had COVID. Is that it was confirmed that Aaron did have COVID, so he might have think homeopathically or just the way that people's immune system work, he already had enough immunity that he didn't have to worry about it. Some other people are saying that he went to Canada to go get the homeopathic treatment, which is just some way in which they give you the increased antibodies, and it's supposed to help in some sort of way, but it all seems like snake oil salesman bullshit to me anyway. Look, he knew what he was doing. And I think the biggest story to come out of this now, if the Packers knew, his teammates knew, the league knew, and they allowed him to walk about without getting fined, without the mask, walking around the media. You know, he's been at all the Halloween parties, been on Instagram doing this, that, and the other.
John Wick. He was John Wick.
The costume was actually, it was good. It was fucking dope. His costume was dope as shit. And look, it was dope. Like, but the thing is, like, if the league then basically sanctioned Aaron Rodgers, there are rules for you that other people don't need to apply to, and hopefully we just won't get caught. Which seems a little bit like a couple other situations the league might be involved with some emails, maybe some things about like a Ray Rice video. I don't know, but it's one of those things where until the public starts making outcry, league just kind of and Lord knows they do not want to mess with their white savior, long hair himself, Mr. John Wick, Aaron Rodgers, who looks like he's going to be an NFC Championship. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Yeah. Also, want to make note to go back to it. The Raiders did cut Ruggs yesterday or last night before any of the other details came out because I'm assuming they knew about it.
Did you just go back to Ruggs?
I assume they did. That's when I knew it had to be bad because I was first thinking like, oh, okay, well, we got to wait and see. Like, all right, maybe he wasn't because like there were reports that said, well, he seemed impaired. And I was like, oh, well, maybe he wasn't drunk. He was just going fast or whatever. And then I saw the Raiders cut him. I was like, oh, nah.
I thought I gave a really good segment on Aaron Rodgers, and now we're back on Ruggs, and it feels like my entire thing just kind of got watered down.
It was great. I thought that.
Guess what?
Then I got thrown out. Girlfriend is rocking these new glasses. I got. She looks like a sexy librarian. They're like really, really circle.
Yeah, I love when Hooli wears that shit, boy. Hey,
she's walking around.
Hooli, put on some glasses right quick. Like you ain't gotta read shit. Just put on
glasses. that's K-Dot's role play. Put on some glasses. Hey,
she keeps saying Velma, and I'm like,
be a librarian.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
When the women do the Velma dress ups now, jinkies. Jinkies, like dead ass.
She's looking at me right now. She's like she knows.
Looking at Savannah James.
Hey, look,
she just did the hair flip. She just did the hair flip.
Stop.
Like she's like.
Hey, stop it. We got it. We need Kadeem for this damn pod right now. Stop it. You about to turn this pod. I was like, all right, I'll be right back. All right. So we talked about Henryruggs, Aaron Rodgers. Let's move on to OBJ right quick.
Okay.
All right. So I don't have too much to say, but I just want to say this. The Browns are fucking stupid. They end. All right, go ahead.
Okay, but you got to elaborate on that.
Yeah,
you got to tell me why they're stupid.
Okay. All right. You could have traded them for something, but they didn't.
They tried to allegedly, though.
Yeah, if that's there were league execs right now that have all been caught saying that he's basically untradeable. The contract, lack of production, and the fact that even though I've given him credit for in Cleveland, I think he's not been a distraction. Yeah. There is still weight because he's a black outspoken player at times from New York that he's a problem. So if you have that sort of situation itself, I mean, who's going to
stick with you though?
Huh?
How long does that stick with you?
Depends on the person. I mean, there was a situation with Terrell Owens I thought went through stretches where he was a fairly good teammate, didn't leave the stigma. Like, I'm just saying that, like, overall, once you have that, it's the same thing. I've had conversation with people about the Odell Beckham thing the last couple of days. And what do? They keep saying, like, oh, well, he's a problem. And I'm like, he hasn't been a problem for years, but it's the same. It's your brand.
All right. But look, let me say this. So I played receiver, right?
That shocks me.
Oh, Ran 4.39, brother.
I see you more as a safety. I'm just saying, I see you more defense.
No. Receiver. I got hands like my hands is good. All right. So, you don't understand. Stop it. You don't understand how fucking annoying it is to run routes and not get the fucking ball, especially when you're open. And if you look at the clip or the video that Odell Beckham Jr. Created, curated, and gave to his dad to upload.
That's what I want to get into. That's my second. I will. I want to talk about that.
When you're that open and you don't get the ball, I'm like, fam, I would have blew up. Like, I'm way calmer than him, and he didn't. So I'm like, look, I'm not mad at you, bro.
But see, I think that's the thing that I want, before you get into the dad video thing, which I know you're going to have a whole thing about. That's where I'm like, I don't think Cleveland were dicks as much as I think they kind of did them a solid. It's like, bro, here's your freedom. Go do wherever you want to do. Go find it, whatever situation you want to go find out. We weren't able to find anything as far as in a trade for you. But if you want out, here, take out. Like, I almost, huh?
And he's just sitting at home?
He's just sitting at home, but it's better than necessarily. Look, there were a couple of those throws that Baker made, and I'm a Baker guy. He laid Odell out to dry a few of those times. And I'm looking at those situations. If I'm Odell and I don't want to play for this team because I'm not getting the fucking ball, and like you said, if I'm continuously running routes and they're not throwing it to me, and yet he's laying me out to dry some of these fucking times, how about I sit at home until somebody's willing to fucking do what it is I need to do?
The thing that the players want to do at a bare minimum is fucking play. I'd rather play and run routes and not get the ball than sit at home and watch my quote unquote brothers play. So that's the whole thing.
I think he definitely played because, Juice is his guy, and Juice is on the team. He's playing opposite Juice. And I think, Juice is a good, I won't say like a good, like influencer necessarily, but he is, but like, he's a good leader as far as that wide receiver locker room is concerned. And I think like, they did try to trade him allegedly. So I completely believe that. I believe they tried to and couldn't find a deal or whatever. My problem with that is the teams not making a deal. There are some teams that I feel like should have made that deal. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville Jaguars got a young quarterback, got a young stud at quarterback. You got a lot of cap room. Nobody wants to play there ever. So here's what you need to do. Nobody comes to watch you play. That's why you're always in London every year and for a couple times. So here's what you do. You even if Odell gets there and causes problems, you need the attention. You need to put fans in the stands. You need to give your young quarterback a good target. And I feel like because Trevor Lawrence is a much better quarterback than Baker Mayfield, even though he's struggling right now, he would do much better with the Jaguars than as far as like Odell getting the ball. He'd do much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like you're not gonna win. So like it's like I want to play, but I want to win too.
I mean, yeah, but I think he'd be happy if he getting 80 catches, 1,400 yards a year, and at least I don't think it would. I'm not saying it would last. I think they win eventually. He's just on the team now, not getting the ball, and they're doing okay. They're 500.
Well, I think how it should play out now is OBJ should play because reports are saying that he's still planning on playing on Sunday.
There are also reports that saying they might release him.
And I hope they do. And I hope
I hope they do too. The Saints should have traded for him. The Saints should have traded for him.
Hold on. What did you guys say? There's a rumor. Who's going to get what?
There's a rumor that the reports are that OBJ is planning on playing on Sunday. And then Keem said that there's also talks that the Browns might release him. And then I think there was two teams that had the cap room, but wasn't it like the Texans and the Jaguars?
Oh, yep. I'm sorry. I guess I jumped the gun. I thought he already got cut today.
No,
sorry. All right, my bad. Apologies.
There was a report that said he did, but
I thought he got cut. That was the last thing I saw was like, all right, it's done. Because I know that they excused him for practice, and then Kevin Stefanski told the team today at practice, basically act as though he's not on the team or something along those lines, which made me think, all right, it's a done deal. He's gone because it is. And I saw the numbers on it about who would be responsible for the $8 million that he had. So I thought it was already a done deal. And and once again, that's where I was speaking from. I thought the Cleveland Browns were actually doing him a solid by letting him walk. in the sense of just holding him hostage there in Cleveland if he thinks that he can do better somewhere else. Because, I mean, if all honestly, I'm looking at his stat line, and I know that injuries have been an issue for him, but, I mean, I'm hard-pressed to see the last time I can really say he's been, like, really solid as far from reduction standpoint is 16.
No, we can't do that. No. I'm not letting you do that.
I'm not saying that it's because of him. I'm not saying that.
I know, but like you got to remember, like this is the perception that's out there that OBJ is not himself, right? But it's like if you look at the tape, he's fucking open. Like just give him the ball. He good passes.
Okay. He is open, but I do also know that he's got a couple critical drops, a few critical drops.
Yep.
I'm just saying that regardless of whatever it is, whether it be him in his displeasure with the quarterback, whether it be we do know that he's failed to stay healthy recently, nothing's trending upward. So I mean, if I'm looking at that overall, as far I don't agree with the brand of Odell being that he's a problem. I got a problem with that. I'll fight that.
Agreed.
Tooth and nail. I think he's changed that. Unless I'm gonna let Keem get into the whole dad thing. But if that's the case, that he hasn't been a problem, there are a couple things, which is regardless of whatever it is, the production hasn't been there. And if it's Baker, if it's the offense, if it's there are too many weapons that he's not getting enough looks, whatever it is, it's the production's just not there. So I understand nobody saying that we want to go out of our way to go get him, because most of the teams that are contenders that I think make the most sense for him don't have the salary cap space. And then if you're looking at a lot of the ones that like the Jacksonville sort of thing, right? Is it all right? Maybe Odell's been good for a few years, but even for Odell, that might test him just a bit having to go to Jacksonville. I'm just saying, could there be some teams that he go to that's like, hold on, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like,
you're not winning.
It's right. You're right. You go from a Cleveland Browns team
that's when you get like him blowing up is when they're not winning.
So that's why I'm like, I think that right now him being, if he gets released and teams can then go vie for him and try to figure out the right situation to put him without having to give anything up, is the best thing for Odell. He's no longer a distraction for the Cleveland Browns, because even if he's not himself being a distraction, the fact that we know who he is and that we're seeing the production's not happening and wondering why, because we see the clips, that's a distraction.
Yeah, I think it's a part of the problem with that is it's in Baker's head. Like I know everybody's seen the stats that, you know, like Baker throwing to any other quarterback, I think he's like at least a 99 like passer rating, right? Throwing to OBJ is like what, 60.8 or some shit like that, right? And I think it's a Baker thing. I think he's overthinking it, trying to make sure he's forcing him the ball sometimes. Not, you know what I'm saying? It's too much a part of his thought process. That's what I believe. And I do think like this will end up as one of those situations. I hope it does anyway. Like Randy Mawson, when he was with the Raiders, 2 years gone, didn't put up the numbers, and then you go to like the Patriots or some shit, and you put up some monster fucking numbers somewhere.
It's a little bit different though.
It's different for sure. I'm just talking about from a productivity standpoint.
Yeah, like we tried to give him the damn ball, but he quit, and he admitted it. But
well, you know, I'm not really talking about that. We'll need to get it. I'll need to fucking spend my time talking about the fucking Raiders because I don't care about them.
There's another part of it though. Like we haven't really discussed it too much like so far, but Kevin Stefanski, right? If you look at his previous stops when he was with the Vikings, Stephon Diggs said, "Get me the fuck out of here." If you look at the production from him and Adam Thielen, they each dropped about 30%, like when he became the OC. Then you look at what he did with Cleveland when he went to Cleveland, same shit. The production dropped about 30%. When Odell moved from the Giants to the Browns, he had a good year, over 1,000 yards. Stefanski came in, shit dropped.
He has 2,000 yard season. Well, no, he has the 1,000 yard season in Cleveland 19.
Yeah,
the 4 touchdown year.
Mm-hmm.
After the 18 campaign in New York where he got 1,006, because in 2017 is when they had to shut him down. 2016 is the last time he had the double-digit touchdowns. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that goes back to something that I was actually having a conversation with somebody the other day about Eli's role in Odell. And I'm not going to say, there are some assholes on Twitter saying Eli made Odell. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But what I will say, Baker isn't, to what Keem said, Baker makes sometimes when Baker's making a decision, it almost seems political. Like it seems as though he's actually going through all the machinations in his head about what does this mean to make this play? What does it mean to throw to this guy? Eli had that all shucks. Odell comes over, is like, I got one-on-one. Eli, all right. Shit fucking lobbing the football up. I agree. But there's
especially when you're the fucking
there's not a lot of quarterbacks like that.
Put that ball on him better than Baker has. Like you
agree.
To your point, like
agree.
He's sacrificed Odell's body a few times.
He's letting him make the play. Look, man, like when you're the fucking dog on the team and you got 1-on-1 or fucking 2-on-1, it don't matter. Give me the fucking ball.
I will say the dogs on that team, and if it's Kevin Stefanski's role in doing it, I think it's recently we've been getting that regardless. The dog that I want in this fight, if I'm Cleveland, is the Kareem Hunt Nick Chubb show. Everybody else is fucking second. I'm just saying. So, like, you guys are not going to get the targets you want to when there's this many wide receivers on our fucking team because I'm running the ball. Like, that's not give a shit.
Built.
Huh?
I don't like how the Browns are built.
I love the Browns.
What's the record?
What do you mean you like how they're built? What do you mean?
What's the record?
4-4.
Okay.
I'm saying, what do you mean? Like, you don't
like all right, they have a great defense.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about like offensively, right? Where they have like what a top 3 rushing attack.
They have the best running tandem in the league.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the issue is if you have that, shouldn't play action pass be so fucking simple for you guys?
It's hard to say. Like, we all thought that Cleveland was probably going to make the break this year because they were coming into the year. People were healthy. We were like, now we know for sure what the Kareem Hunt Nick Chubb combo is going to be like. And now Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb haven't been fucking healthy all goddamn year. Mm-hmm. So, like, as far as now they get like a Dearness Johnson go in there and he fucking balls out like crazy. But like, so you see the running game is working. It's just a matter of what it is they've been doing as far as getting back with it. Look, Landry I still don't think Landry's 100%. Odell's definitely not 100%. Baker's not 100%. Like, I'd be hard pressed to say that this team isn't built well. You got a good defense, a hell of a running game. You built your offensive lineup. You got a quarterback. But if you have as injured as Cleveland is, they're 4-4. We need to pump our brakes just a little bit on what the Browns themselves are because of how injured they've been.
I would say, because there are two coaches I was going to call out, and Kevin Stefanski is one of them. And I'll talk about the other one later. But Kevin's, like, to your point, he's not doing a good enough job as far as, like, offensively. Offensively, they're kind of, like, they're good, but they're not reaching their potential. Because, like you're saying, like, they have a dangerous rushing attack, and you don't need Baker to be fucking Peyton Manning. He needs to be Ryan Tannehill at that point. He needs to be fucking Ryan Tannehill, and they're not putting him in. I won't say they're not putting him in position, but I don't think he's even been that. And I think the play calling can help. I think Baker could be a little bit better. I thought this year would be the year he took that leap, but he hasn't, and he won't. And he'll and probably, like, I'll say 2 or 3 years, he'll be the worst quarterback in the AFC North. Right now, he's third, and that's just only because they got Ben Roethlisberger's corpse is still playing.
Yeah, but shit,
I can't deny that.
They just
my point on Odell's dad. Okay, so you mean to tell me Odell's dad is watching game film, picking out clips of his son not getting the ball, putting good music under it.
Yeah.
Putting new-ish good music under it and posting it?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me LeBron, who is good friends with Odell, randomly tweets free Odell? Nobody told him to do it? Nope, nobody said it. Nobody said, hey, I need your help, Bron. Nobody said, hey, can you throw me an assist? He was just like, you know what I'm going to tweet one day? Free Odell. Knowing that I'm a superstar athlete and I want other people in my business and that they shouldn't tweet about my business. So I'm going to just tweet this randomly.
That to me is that they spoke before the deal was done. I think there was a deal coming. And that's when LeBron was like, Odell is going to show you why he's still a number 1 receiver. Free Odell. I think he put that out thinking that Odell's about to get traded because it was on trade deadline day. So he's like, oh yeah, there's a trade in place. It's gonna happen, and then the shit just fell through. I'm watching Succession now. I'm on like episode 3.
There we go.
Yeah, no, and this
No,
time,
Nick, 3 of season 1. You've made 1 episode prog.
Shut up. I'm trying. All right. I have a lot of shit
You're
going on.
doing good. Take your time. You're doing good.
And actually, like my wife suggested to watch it today. And yeah, so there's a thing going on. He's talking to the bank. It's like, yeah, we're gonna pay you back in full, all this other shit. And he's like, yeah, fuck you. And I'm like, you shouldn't have did that until the actual deal was done. Because I don't think the deal's gonna happen, but we'll go. I'll see.
My opinion was different, though. That's a feasible one. I think he was just like, yo, it's deadline day. Because he tweeted it around like 11 a.m. and deadline day was at like 3. I thought he thought it would give him a boost. I thought he was thinking it would cause enough of a firestorm for Cleveland to be like, yeah, let's get him out of here. Like maybe they were close to a deal with somebody and it was like, they're asking for too much. We don't want to pay your salary or whatever. Or, Cleveland wouldn't accept, a 4th round pick or whatever for him, whatever the case may be. That's what my thought process was. It's like, okay, Cleveland's not going to accept this, and let's try to help them accept something by creating a little firestorm behind it.
Yeah. But there were 2 teams interested.
I was trying to look up Odell Beckham Sr.'s like profession, thinking maybe he was like a video editor, a producer, maybe.
I think he got money.
Here's his bio. I don't know if this is the real Twitter bio. It might not be. But it says Odell Beckham Sr., father, athlete, coach, speaker, entrepreneur, philanthropist. He could pull it off.
I think Odell comes from money, I think.
I'm just saying it ain't our parents resharing something accidentally on the. I think he might have his wits just a bit more about him.
Yeah, but the Saints and the Raiders were interested in talking to Cleveland. So
where the Saints salary cap? Because the Saints even do it? That's what I was worried about.
I think we're at like 4 after we cut Ruggs, right?
For most or least amount of space, or 4?
No, 4 million.
Oh,
4 million left. But the thing is, Derek Carr currently has 19 million.
To
restructure, make it a signing bonus. Boom.
All right.
But Derek always said that he's not discussing the contract extension during the season. But if you say, hey, if you do this now, Odell can come, you might do it.
Well, if we're just talking about our teams, Odell, Washington has a shit ton of cap space. Stay the fuck away. For your own sake, sir.
Yeah, I was like, you wouldn't want him? Like,
I ain't talking about that. I'm saying I care about Odell. Actually, I want to see the comeback for Odell. I think he's talented as shit, and I want to see him play. The same way I want Kansas City to start throwing the fucking football to Josh Gordon, but I'll repress.
Nah, man. The Kansas City just has problems, and I love it. All right.
They got Melvin Ingram.
So? What?
That's fair.
Moon in the picks?
Huh? Yeah.
Where's Moon in the picks?
All right. So, I've been waiting for this since we started the pod today. We now have a new term for the worst week of the season. It is no longer the K-Dot week.
It's not the K-Dot week part 2, right?
It is the K-Dot and Keem week. Keem, you only got 5.
Oh, I thought I had 4. I don't care. I thought I had 4. I really don't give a shit.
Well, all right.
I should have picked the Jets, but nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
Cool. Nobody saw it coming. Bengals are great. Playoff team, right? Cool.
Welcome to last place, Kim. As far as
oh no, you still there?
No, I meant the goddamn week. Would you make me feel good about something? Anything in life, you piece of shit.
I said you look sexy with all the headphones and shit. You're welcome. All right. So, Keem, you got 5. K-Dot, you got 7. And then me and Ryan got 8, which is
rough week.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, the season totals. K-Dot, you got 69 cap.
Oh.
You got 71. Ryan has 77. I have 87. All right. So,
within 20. I like it.
All right. You got the pick against me.
I haven't been in a minute. I'm just saying I'm within 20. It feels good.
All right, so let's go through our picks for this week. Well, do you want to talk about any picks from? Any games from last week?
Not really. I think any of the teams last week that we need to discuss could discuss in these picks coming up.
All right, cool. Jets and Colts. Ryan and I both have the Colts, and Ryan's not here because he's working. So he gave
the Colts as
well.
well.
We should have said that at the beginning.
Yeah,
of
we
this
should have. I was like, "Fuck." I'm sorry, Ryan. Everybody's like, "Where the fuck is Ryan?" Skip to this.
But piggybacking off of your point, though, the Jets beat the Bengals last week, and I was flirting very heavily with taking the Jets last week because I knew that the Bengals are who I thought they were, which is a team that beats teams that they shouldn't because they're young, and a team that loses games that they shouldn't because they're young. And so they have a lot of talent, and that, a lot of people think they're going to be a playoff team or whatever. They're not. I said before the season, 8 or 9 wins, something like that. And that's probably where they'll finish. But Colts winning this week.
Wait, they got 5, right?
Yeah, they got 5. They're 5-3 right now.
So you saying they only gonna win 3 more?
Yeah.
Wow.
3 or 4 more.
Dang, it's true. All right. So you got the Colts?
I bet with you, but people won't remember it, so I don't want to do that. So Colts.
It's on the pod.
It's not.
Nah, but I don't care about the Bengals, so it's cool.
You're with the Colts.
All right. So Colts all the way through. Raiders at Giants. This is gonna be a tough one. Why you give me that look, bro?
Which the Raiders at Giants is gonna be a tough one?
Yeah.
For who?
Us.
Why? Y'all got some injuries or something?
Nah. Fam, do you understand all the shit that's happened this week?
You think that's gonna be an emotional toll? It's gonna take an emotional toll on you guys?
Well, the team has been pretty resilient. This will test. Like, if the Raiders win this game, then I'm like, all right, we're actually for real this year. Because every other fucking time the past couple years where we started 6-3 or whatever, then we just end up fucking 8-8 or whatever. So I don't know, but I'm picking the Raiders.
Raiders.
Raiders as well.
All right. I'm gonna be so fucking disappointed.
What did Ryan have?
Yeah, the Raiders. This is where me and Ryan differ. Falcons and Saints. I have the Saints. He has the Falcons.
Falcons.
Oh, okay. All right. Shit. Yeah, Michael Thomas is not back. He's not going to be back because he's out for the year. Great. I'm not going to change. Fuck it. Bills and Jaguars. Both me and Ryan have the Bills. You all have the Bills. Okay, cool. Watch the Jaguars win.
Probably.
All right. Bengals and Browns. Both Ryan and I have the Bengals.
Browns.
5-4 after this week.
Oh, you got Browns too?
Yep.
The K's have Browns.
Okay. Then we have the Patriots at Panthers. Brian and I both have the Patriots.
Patriots.
Okay. Broncos at Cowboys. We both have the Cowboys.
Dallas.
Cowboys.
Cool. Vikings at Ravens. We both have the Ravens.
Baltimore.
Okay.
Ravens.
I mean, why you guys got to say the different shit? Baltimore.
I don't know. I feel like that was in tandem, like we were the Wonder Twins. It worked for me.
Okay. Yeah. Texans and Dolphins. We both have the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Miami.
Bitches. All right. Chargers and Eagles. We both have the Chargers.
Chargers.
Oh, damn it. LA.
Yeah, fucker. All right. Packers and Chiefs. Well, I am changing this. I had
Chiefs.
Yep. I had the Packers at first, but this is before the whole Aaron Rodgers shit came out.
I had the Chiefs before that, and the Chiefs definitely after.
I mean, the Chiefs are not good, fam.
We said last week. I said that I wasn't worried about the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Like they'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Last week worried the shit out of me. So I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
There's no reason that what was the Giants should have been in that fucking game. That was ridiculous, and it is scary. And Patrick Mahomes, brother, same thing that I said about Saquon Barkley earlier this year. Stop looking for the home run every play. Take what the defense is giving you. There were a couple times Tyreek Hill was screeching across that field, and I'm like, if there's anybody that you want to give the ball to in a short yardage situation to potentially take it home, it's him. But if they're giving you 7 yards, take the fucking 7 yards.
Yep.
Stop. He's not planting his feet the way he needs to plant his feet and throw the ball. He's just trying to luck himself into a touchdown every fucking play, which is why I still think Jackson and Brittany are fucking breaking him.
I think so too. And Kelsey has not shown up. No, he has not. He's not had production the past couple of weeks.
I don't think it's been. They don't have another threat on the outside that scares anybody. And it's not necessarily from a talent standpoint only. It's that he's not getting the ball to people. Like, Josh Gordon could be a threat. They've been using him in a blocking situation the entire fucking time. McCole Hardman, same thing. Like, there's other guys that they need to get involved in the offense other than Tariq. Because once you eliminate Tariq, you can get Kelsey out of the game. And nobody's afraid of the run. No one's afraid of the run. So what do you do?
And you can get home with 4.
So that's the thing. And the other thing is that the offensive line, there are certain aspects of the offensive line are playing better than Mahomes thinks they are. Mahomes is getting quick feet back there when he doesn't need to.
You can't have no faith in him. Then,
which is where something's wrong with Mahomes right now. And I'm hoping I think it's just temporary, but something's wrong with Mahomes right now.
Jackson Mahomes just doing TikToks.
That's my theory, but I don't know for sure.
All right. So, and also another note about the Giants, since we brought them up, they had 13 players test positive for COVID, which is nuts. So, yeah, it's still going to be a tough game, but just saying. All right, Cardinals and 49ers. Ryan and I both have the Cardinals.
49ers.
Yeah, this is one that I was back and forth on. I'm going to go Cards.
Okay. Titans and Rams. We both have the Rams.
Rams.
Right.
Okay, figured.
Move. I love that Von Miller move I did. I loved it.
Yep.
Y'all don't love it?
The AFC West.
Huh?
I don't know how impactful it's going to be, but I like the move. I just don't know if he's still got enough. But I hope it's like one of those moves that re-energizes him.
That's what's going to happen.
That's what I'm like hoping, because I want to see them do it. You can't just double team Aaron Donald and like let like Von Miller roam free. And so now I just can't wait to see like the Rams play with the lead.
This
like,
to me
go up 7-0 and now have to throw the ball.
This to me feels like DeMarcus Ware going to Denver, like Julius Peppers going to Green Bay. Like this feels like that piece on defense of a veteran who is the vocal veteran, who's the guy that can get other people fired up. And to put him on the same team of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey is a fucking problem. I don't care where you are. That's a problem.
Leonard Floyd had 10.5 sacks last year playing next to Aaron Donald.
I will say, at some point, the Rams are going to have to draft somebody.
No,
not if they win one in the next 2 years, and it's all worth it.
I mean, yeah, but you got to replenish
there's no replenishing. This LA. Do you want to know what your future looks like? Look at what Denver looks like right now. Okay, you go all in, win the championship, and then you're gonna suck for a while. But go all in right now. Yeah. Look at LA. 10 years from now, LA is going to be. They're going to be talking about whether or not the Rams are moving to Oakland. That's what's going to happen 10 years from now. Okay, they're going to suck, but they got like a 2-year window. Go win one. No team. You got it. Go win it.
Sucks, but all right. The final game is the Bears at the Steelers. I picked the Steelers. Ryan picked the Bears.
I'm going with Steelers on this one. I don't know why. I like Fields.
So you pick the Bears?
It's in Pittsburgh on a Monday night. This is going to be I think this is going to be a sleepy good game.
No, it is.
Baby.
Who you pick, King?
Chicago.
Okay.
I want to pick Chicago, but just because I want to pass Keenan points, let's go Pittsburgh.
All right. I mean, you guys have the same on everything but 2.
Just enough I need to tie it up if I get them both right.
Yep. Yeah. Or be down 4. One or the other.
Which is where I've been for a very long time. So
all right. So is there anything else you guys want to discuss?
I think final thoughts. I'm sorry.
There's one thing.
It'll be my final thought. Never mind. I'll save it for my final thought.
All right, you know what? Go ahead. Final thought first. Go ahead.
Okay. So coming into the season, I thought the Vikings would be good, right? I thought the Vikings would be. You look at that team, they have talent on the offensive end. Mm-hmm. Defense, maybe not so much, but offensively, you've got 2 of the best receivers in the game, arguably the best running back in the game, at least at a minimum, a top 3 running back in the game, a decent quarterback, top 12, something like that, decent enough quarterback that can get your receivers the ball, and make calls at the line of scrimmage and all this stuff. And if you look at how the Vikings have played, we talked a little bit, and before the season, some of us maybe talked about Cliff Kingsbury and how he, has been doing, or how he hasn't been effective in scheming up plays for Kyler Murray. But I think that we should apply that to head coach Mike Zimmer, who is probably on the hottest of hot seats. He has too much talent for them not to be as good as they are. They've been in so many close games this year. I believe, just looking at it, let me see. They lost by 3 to the Bengals, I think in overtime. They lost by 1 to Arizona. They beat Seattle by 13. And they lost to Cleveland by 7, beat Detroit by 2, beat Carolina by 6, and lost by 4 to Dallas. It's been it's one of those seasons where it's also just that the ball isn't going their way. However, I still think because of how close these games are, Mike Zimmer probably needs to go. They need a new coach. They need to start over, get a new coach.
And a new QB.
I mean, they can do that too, but they are no hurry for that. But yeah, sure.
I just feel Kirk Cousins is forever that guy. That's how I felt in Washington. He's that guy. Shit. I mean, no, we won't take him. We will. Yeah, we'll take him.
Yeah, I think if you put a defense on that team, they could win a Super Bowl.
Look, we were sniffing around Mitchell Trubisky. That's how fucking desperate we are.
Oof.
Yeah, that almost happened yesterday.
Can I interest you in a Marcus Mariota?
Nah, I'm gonna pass.
No, he's actually good.
Trade deadline is done. I'm passing.
All right. So, my final thought, Keem, I thought you were going to say this. Congrats to the Atlanta Braves. Beat the fucking Astros. Thank you. Beat the damn Dodgers. Fuck them. Thank you. As soon as y'all beat the Dodgers, I was rooting for y'all all the way. I wanted y'all to fucking win. I wanted you to sweep everybody and score 50 runs a game. I wanted to be a fucking celebration, which it is. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. I got to buy a jersey now. Act like I'm a Braves fan.
Actually, my mom's an actual Braves fan, like for real, from the 90s or the fucking 80s, whenever the fuck she started watching. She got the starter jacket. Yeah, that joint's sick. And then
I used to love it. When they had that Jones and Sheffield, I was a big fan. When they had the Jones gang, and then Sheffield, I was like, oh man, hell yeah, Andrew, Chipper, Gary, I was a fan.
Acuna's nice too.
He is.
Sucks that he was injured.
He is.
But so that was my final thought. K-Dot?
Succession is the best show on TV. If you're not watching, do something about it. It's fucking awesome. Other than that, local elections matter, as we just saw in Virginia yesterday, a little mini red wave. A lot of people are trying to figure out why it happened, right? So it's did the Trump voters get all the way out? Is there something about identity politics, or is this just a referendum on the way that people feel about Biden? I think all those things are not true. What it is true is the Democrats are too goddamn splintered and self-centered, and we don't pay enough attention to shit that happens unless we can cry and whine about it. With Trump being gone, the big bad boogeyman off of Twitter, people are not as actively engaged as we were last year. And with that, we're going to lose, and we're going to lose a lot. Until people realize that local elections matter, you need to stay involved, you need to stay informed, and you need to get out there to vote and to get out the vote. It's extremely important. Otherwise, look for our ass to get handed to us in 2022 and 2024. And when I say us, I do mean the Democratic Party, but to a bigger extent, I mean just us as people. We need politicians in Washington that actually care about us and not corporate interests. And right now, while I don't love the Democratic Party, they do a lot better job than Republicans do. And the Democrats need to get that message in behind and know that they are the party of the people. And that's what we need to get done so we can win these elections. Enough of the identity politics bullshit. Let's give people money, give them jobs, and give them health care. And that'll make sure that they vote blue.
That reminded me of the Will McAvoy rant. From the newsroom.
When is America great?
Yeah, that reminded me of that. But I just want to say, I feel like Democrats are terrible playing with the lead. Like, really, like now that, like, when Obama was in office, it was like all about glorifying him and everything. And then like it seems like a lot of times the work stops once like they get the win, and it's like
sort of. I'd agree with that, sort of. Like, so the one thing I won't forgive Barack Obama for, and I never will, is in his first 2 years in office when he had both houses in Congress and he had the presidency, and he still wanted to have a bunch of town halls on universal health care and reach across the aisle because we need to make sure we do things the right way in a peaceful way. You're not dealing with an opposing party that gives a shit. So what do? The entire time you were trying to do that, they said that you were born in Kenya. They kept saying that you wanted to have death panels, and you allowed them to water it down to Obamacare, which is a piece of shit compared to what it should have been. It's supposed to be the first measure in what it is we were going to eventually get to, which was a single-payer option. We stop. Either Democrats try to be too nice because they care about their image, or you have, when I think about a lot of Democrats that don't like doing the legwork, but they like to yell. They like to get angry. I actually think the best thing that could possibly happen between now and 2022, 2024, Twitter, please give Donald Trump his Twitter back. Because the more that he's on Twitter riling up fucking liberals, the more we're likely to fucking get angry and vote.
This is true.
If you didn't know, now you know, because I told you.